These are the things I use to roll out my feet. This one here, I usually use this in the morning. It's like a pre-one. I call it a pre-roll. It's a little squishy and soft. And when I first got it, it was great. The good thing about this is it has this wide thing here, so that when you put your foot on it, it gets in that crack here. And if you have a measure of strength in your feet, or you build up to it, which you can do with this thing, you will squish it. You see it kind of squishes down flat. Goes from that, and then I press as hard as I can. And I like to do this one first thing in the morning. It kind of just awakens my feet. In the bed, I do stretching with my feet and toes like this, like a series of this. You can count and do like 10, but most of the time I just do it until I don't feel any more tightness. Alright, with your toes. And then you can point and flex. I do this in the bed before I get out of the bed. Do that a bunch of times and roll it around. Right, so I do that in the bed before I get up. Once I get up, then this is my favorite thing in the morning. Fun! Now I'll show you the difference between this one and this one. Alright, whoever did this one, this second one, this is not a good design because it dips in the front. So because it dips in the front, you need something for your foot to press onto. This dip in the front, it looks good, but your foot is supposed to create the impression. They built in an impression, which is not a good idea. Because now, it's like my foot, oops, can you see it? Oh, I did that wrong, sorry. It's like my foot can't grasp into the middle of it because it's already pressed down. I need something that's not pressed down. Like this, my foot is supposed to do the pressing down and it gets into that crook there. This one, because they built in it's already pressed down, your foot can't get into that crook. So the ball's on the end. This one is hard too. This one's not soft. This one's hard. So what I have to do with this one is I use the ball on the end, which is circular, to get into that crook. So this is not my favorite one. They make a pillow that you're supposed to put between your legs, and it's supposed to keep your legs open so that your hips don't dip in while you're sleeping if you're a side sleeper. And I've seen pillows like that already have the dip in between, and I'm like, that kind of defeats the purpose. So that's like this foot stretcher. It's like, seems like a great idea unless you actually use the product, then it's not a great idea. But if you have this one, you can use the side to get in the crook. It's just a little awkward. It's not as easy. But because this one is made of a hard plastic, it doesn't lose its shape. It keeps its firmness, and that's a tremendous help when you're trying to really stretch out that muscle. Alright, this spiky thing is one of my favorites. Might even be my favorite. This is got all these spikes on it. I think I got this from like Five Below or something. And it's actually soft like this one, but it's not as soft. This one is more hard, but there's a softness to it. You'd have to have really strong feet to try to press this thing down. This one is like acupressure. The spikes are more spiky than this one, which is rounded. This one has spikes. It's not painful at all. It's just extremely massaging. Whew, and almost like therapeutic. So I use this for the whole of my foot. I get in the crook there on the side. And I also try to do my side. And this is extremely these are the things that I use to roll out the muscles in my feet. I used to have plantar fasciitis years ago, and one of the ways I got rid of it was to stretch my feet. I didn't use any of these tools at the time. I just purely used stretching my feet back, but I had a certain kind of futon that allowed me to do that, and that's how I got rid of the plantar fasciitis. Now I'm trying to build the strength and flexibility in my feet, so I'm using these, which, whew, this one here feels like an amazing massage. Alright, so that's that. This one here, I usually just use this one at night when I first come home. This one, they still make this, but I got this, gosh, I was probably in my 20s, and I paid $1 for it at the Dollar Tree. But I still see it. I don't know how much it costs. It's like $10 or $20 or something, but I paid $1 for it. This is excellent. It reminds me of like this one, like the pink one, the same kind of feel to it. A little bit harder, a little bit firmer. And this is usually the one I use when I first come home to stretch out my feet, because it gives you a little bit more firmness than the pink one. Oh, it's a little broken. Whew. And you can do the sides. This is amazing. Alrighty. This just pops back in. Alrighty. This one. These two here are like hardcore, man. I don't ever use these first. And this one is a leg massager that I got from TheraBand. It's pretty amazing. I did get it for my legs, but I do also use it to roll out my feet. If you ever use a foam roller, that's what this is. Foam roller on a stick. And the sides actually pop out. I'll try to show you. Sorry. So the sides actually pop out like this, so that it can roll your leg or whatever. Foam roller on a stick. It's gentle, but these ridges here, and they're super hard, you know. They have some give, like if you press into it, there's some give to it, but this one gives me a really like more intense side roll. I don't know what you call it. On the side of my feet where your arch would be, or where your arch should be, because my arch, that's about all the arch I have, which is non-existent almost. And when I put it down here, you see my feet are flat. So I'm told that flat feet can be a problem, but there's no problem that doesn't have a solution. So once I do the other ones, then I build up to this one. And then this one here is serious business. I think I got this one from Amazon. It actually comes in a set of 2. That's the other one sticking out there. This one, man, wow, it's made of wood. It's made of wood, so it's completely firm. And this here is rubber, so that it rolls on the rubber things. And this one gives me like the most intense stretch that I could get. Like this one I can't even do fast. I'd have to slowly go through muscle by muscle and roll my foot over it. It is really like intense. So if you need to move up and you need a stronger roll out of the muscles in your feet, this thing would definitely be it. I think with this collection of stuff, I don't ever need any new foot roller. As long as you have this thing, this could be probably your one and only, to be honest with you, because it depends on how much pressure you apply. Obviously, if I apply light pressure, it has the ridges, but I don't really feel the ridges here. Not like these ridges you could feel, and this feels like acupressure with these three. Even with this one, I don't feel that, but I do feel it completely flattening out the muscles in your feet. So this is what I do to take care of my feet, to keep the muscles as open as possible, or as rolled out as possible. And then I do foot exercises, but I can do that in a different video. So, happy feet stretching.